Welcome back to another Fabric Tip Friday. I gave y'all a little bit of hint yesterday of what I was going to do. It's not really a fabric tip, but it's telling about something we've come up with new here at Airtech Coatings. I've known all along about this being on the old vintage cotton tapes on the paint edge, the pitch of it. I was reminded about a year ago with Tom Westfall over at Westfall Aviation over in Clinton, Arkansas. They do a lot of stagger wings and vintage aircraft, and he told me someone had cut some somewhere. So it gave me the idea to go ahead and see about doing the vintage, what I call the vintage cut on the Synchronite fabric. And what that is this is the normal. I'll give you can see it a little better here. Brian Wallstrom, you ought to recognize this. This was your test piece you did the other day when you were here. This is the regular pinked size, and this is what I'm calling the vintage. And what I did was went in and measured the depth and the width and everything. And I'm not going to get into what pink tape is. We'll do another one on that someday. But this is the vintage, and for a long time, you had to just go ahead and find some older cotton or whatever that had that on it. And I've seen a lot of Synchronite covered aircraft in the early 70s, such as the Bellanca or Champions that had Synchronite on them, but they still had cotton tapes and they had that small pitch. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting it in Synchronite for the guys that are, I'm not going to say the purists, the ones that are building the period correct planes, if they're building a J3 or a Stearman or something that is period correct. And I'm doing it, I think for now, I'm going to do it on medium tape or the 102. I'll do some tests. I mean, y'all are big boys and girls. You can figure out if it's cut in lightweight that everyone says, well, that's going to be real easy to sand and everything. And I also feel like that's going to be so small, it could easily go away with the coatings, whether you're using a Stewart system or polyfiber or Superflot or whatever, you know, if you buy our tape and put that on it. So to make the pink be actually noticeable or be able to see it, that's the whole reason you're doing it, is to be able to see it. For now, I'm going to test it in the medium cut. What I did was, if any of y'all know me personally, I'll see something and I'll just try to build something to do it. And this was the start of the cutter that I was going to cut down. I had found a place to machine and build the wheels for the cartridge, and it's a dovetail that these all set up on. And I was going to build an air-driven setup to cut these special. In the meantime, I ended up purchasing the manufacturing facilities or the equipment from a place that cuts tape, that actually uses these style cartridge. So this is kind of just a big paperweight now, because I have the actual machinery and I cut tapes for us and some other companies. So I have the facilities now to just, you know, throw out any width I want. I don't have to go into a bunch of figuring out or doing on this. So I guess we're basically introducing this. I'm gonna start putting it in a few of the circulars or the Stearman magazines or the Piper newsletters and different things for the guys that, you know, I just cut this one regular and the new on each side. I had this at Sun and Fun showing a few people. So that's kind of what we have out new. Price is probably going to be basically about the same thing. I mean, just a matter of setting up another cutter. I'm going to do a little testing to see just what it takes for this to go away. You know, if you've ever heard me talk about when you're doing a wing, you know, Clyde Smith always tells everybody, make sure you set it in something like that. If you keep setting it down and moving it and setting it down, you're just eroding away the tips. They'll still be there, but they start to get not quite as crisp as they are. So with this being small, it's going to be even more problematic if you're messing with it and keep rubbing it, that could go away. So I look forward to hear back from people what they think, and I think it's basically going to be for the vintage guys or the ones that wants that look. So we'll start to offer it. I'll eventually get it in our catalog and stuff, but if you happen to be in a covering right now and you want some right now, just, you know, give us a call and I'll try to get you some coming your way. Thank you.